What if an AI could think like a scientist? I don't mean just crunching numbers, but really truly forming concepts, discovering laws, and building a theory of the universe completely from scratch. Well, today, we're going to explore a system that's trying to do exactly that.
That's the big question, isn't it? Could an AI actually make the next great scientific discovery? This is driving some of the most exciting AI research out there right now, and it's about way more than just faster calculations. We're talking about automating the act of discovery itself. A new system called AI Newton. Well, it might be a huge step in that direction.
Okay, so why do we even need an AI scientist in the first place? To get that, you have to look at the challenges we're facing today. The truth is, as science gets more and more complex, our traditional, human-driven approach is kind of hitting a wall. And this table just lays out the problem perfectly. On one side, you've got us, human scientists. We're great at finding simple, elegant laws, but our research cycles are long, and we struggle with overwhelming complexity and our own biases. On the other side, you've got older AIs like neural networks. Sure, they're incredibly fast at recognizing patterns, but they're often a total black box. You don't know why they work, and they're not great at generalizing to new situations. There's been this huge gap right in the middle. And that gap, that's exactly where this new system comes in. It's designed to try and bridge that divide by taking the very best of both worlds. So let's meet AI Newton. Its whole mission is to act like a physicist dropped into a brand new universe. It gets nothing but raw data, just the coordinates of objects moving over time, and it has to figure out the laws of physics entirely on its own. No prior knowledge of concepts like mass or energy or force, nothing.
So how on earth does it do it? Well, its core method is something called concept-driven discovery. Now, instead of just finding one single formula that fits the data, AI Newton actually builds its understanding of the world layer by layer. It starts by defining a really basic concept, like velocity, just by looking at how position changes over time. Then it uses that concept as a building block for more complex ideas like momentum or kinetic energy.
Okay, but how does it actually do this? What's going on under the hood? Let's take a peek inside AI Newton's quote-unquote mind to see how it organizes its thoughts.
At the very heart of the system is the knowledge base. The best way to think of it is like a scientist's lab notebook. It's this constantly growing, super organized database where AI Newton stores everything it learns, from the simplest little observations to the grand laws it discovers.
And this notebook has this really beautiful three-layer structure. At the bottom, you have symbols. This is the basic alphabet of physics, X for position, T for time. From that alphabet, it builds concepts. This is the vocabulary, like defining velocity. And finally, it uses that vocabulary to form laws. These are the complete sentences that describe how the universe works, like the conservation of energy.
All right, so we know how it stores knowledge, but what about the active process? How does it actually go about learning and making new discoveries?
A key technique here is called plausible reasoning, and it's very, very human-like. Think about it. Imagine your theory works for 5 experiments but fails on the 6th. You wouldn't just throw the whole theory away. No way. You'd ask, okay, what's different here? Can I just add a new term to my theory to account for this? And that is exactly what AI Newton does. It modifies its existing laws to fit new evidence, instead of starting from scratch every time.
And this all happens in a continuous 4-step cycle. First, it selects an experiment to look at. Then, it tries to discover new laws using tools like symbolic regression and plausible reasoning. Third, it simplifies its findings to avoid getting bogged down by redundant ideas. And finally, it extracts any new concepts and laws and updates its knowledge base. Then, the cycle just repeats.
And that simplification step, it's absolutely crucial to prevent what's called knowledge explosion. The system uses a powerful mathematical tool to act as a sort of conceptual editor, constantly cleaning up its own notebook to keep everything lean and efficient.
Okay, so the theory sounds great, but does it actually work? This is where the researchers put AI Newton to the ultimate test.
And they didn't just give it a few simple problems. No, they challenged it with 46, that's right, 46 different experiments in Newtonian mechanics. We're talking everything from simple freefall to complex systems with balls, springs, inclined planes, and even celestial gravity.
The results were just remarkable. From nothing but raw data, AI Newton rediscovered the foundational laws of classical mechanics. We're talking Newton's second law, the law of gravitation, conservation of energy and momentum, and even figured out concepts like mass and a spring's stiffness, all from scratch. And this timeline is fascinating. The learning progression was incredibly logical and human-like. It didn't find everything at once.
Early on, it figured out mass. Then, it discovered velocity and momentum. Later, it built on those ideas to formulate kinetic energy, and then potential energy. It was a step-by-step discovery process. And this quote from the researchers themselves sums it up perfectly. The system's incremental learning, starting simple and building up to complexity, is a clear mirror of how human science has progressed over centuries. This isn't just pattern matching, it's structured, logical knowledge building.
So, what does this all mean for the future? This is just a proof of concept, but its potential goes far beyond rediscovering physics we already know. The roadmap ahead is really exciting. Future versions could use more powerful math or even integrate natural language to grasp abstract ideas like inertia. The ultimate goal is for systems like AI Newton to become collaborators for human scientists, helping us tackle the biggest unanswered questions in physics and beyond. For many, this is a crucial pathway toward true artificial general intelligence.
This leaves us with a final, really tantalizing thought. We've seen an AI retrace the steps of giants like Newton. If it can rediscover the laws of our past, what entirely new laws of the universe might it help us discover in the future?